Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Tiffany Stratton won the WWE Women's Championship on last week's edition of SmackDown. Days after her triumphant win over Nia Jax, the buff Barbie broke kayfabe with the former champion. Stratton and Jax's off-screen friendship is no secret. The 25-year-old superstar also helped Jax win the world title at the SummerSlam 2024 Premium Live event when she defeated Bayley. Jax retained the title against the role model at Bad Blood thanks to Stratton. The WWE Women's Champion shared a photo on her Instagram story with Nikki Bella, Natalya, Michelle McCool, and Maryse. The photo also included Jax, who was dethroned by Stratton only a few days ago. Several WWE superstars and legends were in attendance for the Monday Night Raw premiere on Netflix. Stratton was also at ringside for the show and got a huge ovation from the WWE Universe. Vince Russo discussed Tiffany Stratton cashing in her Money in the Bank contract on Nia Jax to win the WWE Women's Championship. Speaking on Bro Down on Backstage Pass, Russo stated he was glad to see Stratton win the title and the victory was his highlight of the night. He said, Stratton's first feud as the women's champion is expected to be against Jax, who still has Candice LeRae by her side. LeRae was also attacked and taken out by Stratton, leading to her successful cash-in. Chapter 1: The Aftermath of the Victory. It had been a week since Tiffany Stratton had captured the WWE Women's Championship, the culmination of years of hard work, sacrifice, and relentless training. The night after her victory, the WWE Universe was still buzzing. Stratton's victory over Nia Jax was a triumph, one that felt almost inevitable considering the momentum she had built over the past several months. But now, weeks later, the world was beginning to see a different side of the champion, one that had not been seen in public before. Stratton, who had always been confident, cocky, and a fierce competitor inside the ring, was now starting to show signs of vulnerability. She had been taught by the best, molded into a perfect heel, and held the championship with pride. However, now in the wake of her win, the facade of the champion began to crack. This wasn't about the gold anymore. It was about a sense of humanity that no one expected from the high-flying, fast-talking blonde powerhouse. For Nia Jax, it had been a brutal loss. Jax, one of the most dominant women in WWE history, had been on a tear, crushing opponents left and right, until Stratton had exposed the chinks in her armor. The loss was tough, but Nia was never one to back down. She didn't hide behind excuses. She just did what she did best: fight. What no one expected, however, was that in the days following her defeat, there would be a series of moments that would challenge the very foundation of professional wrestling. Chapter 2: The Unexpected Interaction. It happened during a WWE live event. Tiffany Stratton had just finished a match where she successfully defended her women's championship. The crowd was roaring, and Stratton stood victorious in the center of the ring, microphone in hand. As the lights dimmed, she prepared to deliver her usual cocky promo about how unbeatable she was. She was about to repeat the standard lines she had been saying for months, the usual "no one can touch me" routine, when the unexpected happened. Nia Jax's music hit. The crowd fell silent, unsure of what was about to transpire. Nia Jax, who had been absent from WWE television since her loss, was making her presence felt again. As she walked down the ramp, there was an electric tension in the air. Everyone knew there was unfinished business between these two competitors. Tiffany had beaten Nia for the title, but it was clear that the story was far from over. Jax slid into the ring, standing face to face with Stratton. For a moment, it seemed like they would engage in a physical confrontation. But instead, Nia reached out and pulled the microphone from Tiffany's hand. The crowd watched in stunned silence, waiting for one of the two women to speak. Nia's voice was calm, almost eerily so, when she spoke. "Do you know what I see in you, Tiffany?" Jax asked, her eyes locking with Stratton's. Tiffany remained silent for a moment, trying to read the situation. The last time they had stood across from each other in the ring, the air had been thick with hatred, rivalry, and competitive fury. But now, it felt different. Almost human. "What are you talking about?" Tiffany responded, her tone defensive, but not combative. Jax smiled slightly. I see a lot of myself in you. I see the hunger, the desire to be the best, the will to never back down, but you know what? That's not what makes you a champion. Tiffany narrowed her eyes, her guard up. Then what does? Being human, Nia replied, her voice almost whispering. You can't always hide behind the persona you've created. You can't always be this untouchable, invincible force. Eventually, the real you will have to come out. Tiffany recoiled, taken aback by the words. What the hell are you talking about? Nia didn't flinch. She stepped closer to Tiffany, lowering her voice. I'm talking about the mask you wear, the champion persona that everyone loves, but deep down, you're just like me, you're broken, you're scared, and you're lonely. The crowd was silent. The tension was palpable. Nia Jax wasn't just challenging Tiffany's championship reign, she was challenging her very identity. Tiffany's face tightened. You don't know a damn thing about me, Nia, and you'll never know. But Nia wasn't finished. I used to think I had to be the big, strong, dominant woman all the time. I thought if I didn't, people would see me as weak, but that's not the truth. We're all just people, Tiffany. We all have our flaws, and it's time you stop pretending like you're something you're not. The silence in the arena was deafening. The fans didn't know whether they were witnessing an angle or something more real. Tiffany stared at Nia, her eyes narrowing, her fists clenching. Get out of my ring, Tiffany said, her voice cold. You're not welcome here, Nia smirked. We'll see, champ, we'll see. As Nia Jax slowly exited the ring, leaving Tiffany Stratton to stand alone, the champion's mind raced. There was a part of her that felt exposed, vulnerable, something she had never allowed herself to feel. But it wasn't just what Nia said, it was the way Nia had said it. There was a familiarity to her words. She wasn't just speaking to Tiffany as a rival, she was speaking to her as someone who understood. Chapter 3: The Public Break in Kayfabe. The next few days were a whirlwind for Tiffany. Media interviews, fan interactions, and the overwhelming pressure of being the WWE Women's Champion. But in the midst of all of this, one question kept lingering in the back of her mind. What if Nia was right? What if, despite all her bravado, Tiffany Stratton wasn't as untouchable as she appeared? It was the final straw when she found herself standing backstage, staring at her reflection in a mirror. The makeup, the hair, the smiles, it was all starting to feel like an act. Tiffany had been playing the role of a dominant champion, but deep down, she was beginning to question if she had lost herself in the process. The WWE Universe was used to seeing their superstars perform in front of a camera, always in character, always in kayfabe. But this time, Tiffany couldn't take it anymore. She needed to say something real. Her opportunity came when she was scheduled for a promo segment. The lights dimmed, and Tiffany's music hit. But instead of the usual cocky, I'm the best chant she always delivered, something was different this time. She walked out slowly, her eyes scanning the crowd, her shoulders slumped slightly as she grabbed the microphone. She stood there in silence for a moment. The crowd began to buzz, unsure of what was happening. Finally, Tiffany spoke, her voice more vulnerable than they had ever heard it. I've been playing a character for so long now, she began, looking down at the title belt in her hands. You all think you know me, you think you know what I stand for, but the truth is, I don't even know who I am anymore. Nia Jax was right about one thing. I've spent so much time being the champion that I forgot what it means to just be a person. The crowd went silent, unsure of how to react. Tiffany's words were not what anyone expected. She paused, looking directly into the camera. I've always been told to be strong, to be perfect, to never show weakness, but in the past few days, I've realized that I'm just tired of pretending. The crowd erupted in shock, confusion, and a wave of applause. For the longest time, I thought I had to be the unbeatable champion, she continued. But Nia reminded me of something I had forgotten, that we're all just human, and maybe, just maybe, that's okay. Chapter 4: The Fallout. Tiffany's revelation took the wrestling world by storm. Fans and critics alike were stunned by her honesty, and many began to wonder what this meant for the future of her reign as the WWE Women's Champion. Was she still the same Tiffany Stratton that had dethroned Nia Jax for the title? Or was this a completely new chapter? Nia Jax, too, had been watching from a distance. As much as she had challenged Tiffany's persona, she couldn't help but feel a sense of respect for the champion's sudden vulnerability. The two women had been through a lot together, and now it seemed like the story was taking on a new twist in the coming weeks. Tiffany and Nia would cross paths again, but this time, there was no animosity, no aggression. Instead, they found themselves speaking on a level they had never explored before, one of mutual respect and understanding. The rivalry that had defined their story began to transform into a deep bond. They had both broken kayfabe, and in doing so, they had both found something more powerful than the championship they fought for. Themselves, it wasn't the end of their feud. Far from it. But it was the beginning of a new era, one where the lines between character and person blurred, and where the humanity behind the personas became as important as the championships they held. And for Tiffany Stratton, the WWE Women's Championship no longer symbolized just a title. It was a reminder of the journey she had taken, not only as a competitor but as a person. The journey was far from over. But for the first time in her career, Tiffany knew she had nothing left to prove to anyone but herself. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.